Hi skiers and snowboarders, Ken Ring here of www.predictweather.com, and people are beginning to ask what the ski season is going to be like. This is blog number 2, by the way. My apologies for making the previous one too long. I was unaware that that had happened. I'm going to give you the news on the snow season for 2010, and also ski seasons to follow right up to 2020. Of course, we do sell an extensive snow report for 2010 from the website. It's just $11, www.predictweather.com. It will give you the snow dates in both islands of New Zealand, and you can plan when to go to the slopes, but I'll give it to you in a nutshell in this blog. It will be a good season, but it will be a late one. It will also be a season in which there'll be too much snow, I think, at times. And it could be the last of the good South Island seasons until about 2016 or 2017. And I'll explain that in a minute. For instance, in 2011, I don't think enough South Island snow will come until the beginning of August. By the end of July, people will be looking for it still, which will mean the skiers will probably come north thinking that the South Island season isn't going to happen at all. And when it does happen, I think they won't get the numbers down there to save their bacon, because everybody will have been up here, unless they decide to run the season late, and they don't often do that. Even the North Island next year will be struggling even though they'll be better off than the South Island. Well, my method is explained in my books. There's the lunar code, which is available online from the website, but if you don't want to do that, the cheaper option is this, which I've put into an ebook called Predicting the Weather by the Moon, and that's available just for a couple of bucks to pay for the administration online as well. So that's the method. I'm not going to go into the method here at the moment, because I don't even have 10 minutes to explain all this, but I'm going to give you the summary. Now, this year, I think the coldest part of the year is going to be towards the end of the winter, and August and September. If you can work all this out for yourself, by the way. This is how you do it. You know, the Earth is supposed to be like that, with the moon going around it like that. Well, actually, that's not what happens, because the Earth is on a tilt, 23-degree tilt. The moon still goes around sort of the middle of it, and what happens is that the moon's in the northern hemisphere, and then it comes around and it crosses the equator and it goes into the southern hemisphere, and it does that every 13 days. So every 13 days it changes hemispheres, and that has the effect of shifting big volumes of water for the tide, also shifting big volumes of air, which changes the barometric pressures. But it also means in the winter time, when the moon is in the south, then it goes much colder around this part of the world, and because it's dragging colder polar air from the poles up over the south of New Zealand, and then that flows through to the rest of the country. Well, in the beginning of May, around about May the 4th, it snowed, because that was the last time the moon was in the south, and it's going to be in the southernmost point again on the 29th, which is 4 days time, which is why it's suddenly gone cold now, and which is why we're starting to get a bit of snow again now. So those are the times when the snow comes, what we call the southern declination. And if you look up southern declination in astronomical or astrological programs, you can see when they're going to occur, or you can email me, I'll tell you, or it's in my books, and those are the times when the snow dumps are going to come. And you can look back in past years and match the southern declinations, and you can see that's boom, 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 when the snow dumps did actually arrive. So the moon is bringing it, just as the moon controls the tides, the moon controls the weather, and the moon controls the changing of the temperatures. So there are several factors in it. It's to do with how close the moon gets, when it comes closest, and whether it's a full moon or new moon around that time. But because of all these factors, we're going to get a cold spring. 2011, the cold combination occurs a little bit further on in October, which means a cool spring and a winter that will be just coming out of the run of colder seasons. And by 2012, the cold moon combination falls a little bit further on again, which will be November, and there could be late snow, but pretty patchy, because the sun will be bringing late spring and early summer temperatures around that time, and I doubt that the ski seasons will want to bother with opening because they'll have just had a warmer winter with no snow. In 2013, this colder date, shifts into December, which will bring the temperatures of the summer down, and it'll be a mild summer. And by 2014 and 2015, we'll be into mild summers and pretty warm winters, because that's where the warmth will have been sort of shifted to. And the warmth will extend to spring, which will delight the farmers, because they'll get a lot of growing done, but it won't delight the ski operators. The summer of 2016 and the autumn will continue to be cool, but we should see some early snow beginning of 2016, the winter then, and the season I think will be an early one, and it'll probably peter out quite early because there'll still be a lot of warmth left in the winter. Probably won't last too long. 2017 brings a cold autumn, and then from April to July of that year, that's going to be a span of those colder temperatures, and we'll be back into skiing again. It'll regenerate the ski industry. Spring of 2017 will again be warm, and then we've got 3 years, 2018 to 2020, of warm summers, and probably be a drought then as well, and colder winters. Well, another way to look at this is the El Nino situation. Now, El Ninos bring good snow years to New Zealand, because in the El Nino wintertime, you've got winds coming from the west and the southwest, which are cooler directions. And you only have to look back at recent El Nino years to see that there were good ski seasons then. For example, 1983 and 1991 and 2002 and last year and this year. So I hope that gives you some idea of how it works. We're seeing the last of this good run of seasons. Don't be too disappointed, because we have had it good, and it will come around again. So get your skiing in now, and next year you might not be able to do as much in the following years. Don't book to go early this season, and have a look at my snow report to see when the dry periods are coming, so that you know when to take the kids down with the minimum of hassle. You don't want to go down when there's blizzards and heavy snowfalls blocking the access roads. And that will be happening in August and around September, some parts of it, because that'll be a colder time. In fact, I'd avoid August altogether. That'll be the month of the most precipitation, the most rain and snow in the whole country for the whole year. My pick will be the second half of September to go to Queenstown, and the third week in October as one of the best times of the season to go to Ruapehu. So that's second half of September, South Island, third week in October for the North Island. I hope that's been of some help to you. I'm Ken Ring, www.predictweather.com, and thanks for watching.